Captain Alex Turner's ship descended slowly toward the surface of Zithra Prime, the planet famed across the galaxy for its towering cities and advanced technology. From the viewport, Alex could see shimmering towers of silver and blue, stretching high into the sky, catching the sunlight and reflecting it in dazzling patterns. He had been preparing for this moment for years, humanity's first official diplomatic mission to an alien world ruled by Queen Lyra, the mysterious and powerful leader of the Zithrians. Alex adjusted the strap of his translator device nervously. It was a small, sleek collar with a blinking light that promised to convert his words into the complex Zithrian language in real time. He had tested it extensively, but nothing could fully prepare him for speaking in front of a queen whose culture was unknown and whose customs were precise. The shuttle touched down on a polished landing platform that stretched like a silver runway into the heart of the palace complex. Alex stepped out, feeling the soft hum of energy fields beneath his feet. The air smelled faintly metallic but was clean and breathable, a pleasant relief after weeks of training in the artificial atmosphere of the ship. From the palace balcony above, Queen Lyra appeared. She was taller than any human, with skin that shimmered like polished amethyst and eyes that seemed to glow faintly violet. Her presence was commanding yet elegant. She did not smile, but her posture alone conveyed authority. A silence fell over the landing area as the queen and her court watched Alex carefully. Alex swallowed hard and raised his hand in greeting. "Greetings, Your Majesty. I am Captain Alex Turner, representing humanity," he said, his voice steady, though his heart raced. The translator device buzzed faintly. Then, without warning, it distorted his words. Instead of a polite greeting, the device accidentally twisted them into what the Zithrians interpreted as a subtle insult. Queen Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly. A whisper ran through her court. Alex noticed the sudden tension and froze, realizing that something had gone wrong, but he had no idea what. He tried again. "I mean no disrespect, Your Majesty. Please accept." The translator spat out another mangled version, turning his apology into a phrase that implied humans considered Zithrians weak. A few advisors gasped audibly, and the guards shifted uneasily. Alex's stomach sank. He had trained for diplomatic negotiations, for tense discussions, for alien etiquette, but never for accidentally insulting a queen through his own translator. Queen Lyra stepped forward slightly. Her movement was graceful and precise, as though she was both a dancer and a predator at the same time. "Explain yourself," she said in perfect English, though her tone carried an undercurrent of curiosity mixed with authority. Alex nodded rapidly, trying to maintain calm. "My queen, it seems my translator device is malfunctioning. I did not intend any offense." Before he could finish, the device squeaked and repeated his words, distorting them again into a phrase that implied humans wanted to claim Zithra Prime for themselves. The court murmured loudly, and some of the guards placed their hands on the hilts of their energy blades. Alex took a deep breath. He needed to act quickly. If he froze or panicked, the misunderstanding could escalate into something dangerous. Instead, he forced a smile and raised his hand slightly in a gesture of peace. Then he dropped the translator device entirely, letting it clatter harmlessly to the platform. "I will speak directly," he said, using calm gestures and body language instead of relying on technology. "I come in peace. Humans respect your world and your people. We want only friendship and understanding." Queen Lyra watched silently. Her violet eyes studied every movement Alex made, noting his posture, the steadiness of his gaze, and the sincerity in his tone. It was rare, she thought, for humans to remain composed under pressure. Most species would have panicked or tried to retreat. One of the court advisors, a tall Zithrian with metallic-looking skin, whispered sharply, "Your Majesty, the human is foolish. He continues to insult us even as he speaks. Should we remove him?" The queen raised a hand, silencing the advisor. "No," she said, her voice firm. "I am curious. Let him continue. I want to see what humanity values." Alex, unaware of the conversation, bowed slightly. "I understand that my words have been misunderstood. Please allow me to demonstrate my respect for your customs and your people. Queen Lyra inclined her head. Very well. There is a ritual of respect for guests. If you can perform it correctly, it will show your intentions are honorable. Fail, and she let the sentence hang in the air, leaving the threat implicit. Alex's heart skipped a beat. But he nodded. He had studied human interpretations of alien diplomacy and etiquette. But rituals like this could not be fully learned from books. He would have to observe, deduce, and act carefully. The queen gestured, and a holographic guide appeared, projecting the steps of the ritual in symbolic patterns. Alex studied the flowing shapes, the precise hand movements, and the order of gestures. He realized that even a small mistake could be seen as disrespect. As he practiced the motions, Queen Lyra watched silently. The court remained tense, some whispering nervously, but most were intrigued. A human attempting a Zitharian ritual was unusual, perhaps even unprecedented. Alex's first attempt was clumsy. He reversed a hand gesture, and one of the advisors shook their head. He corrected himself, focusing on precision and intent. His movements became more confident as he went, each motion deliberate, each step measured. After several minutes, Alex completed the ritual. He stood before the queen, bowing in the human style, showing humility and respect. The court was silent. Queen Lyra's eyes studied him, as if weighing every part of his being, his courage, his sincerity, his resilience. Finally, the queen spoke. "You are different from the humans I expected," she said, her tone neutral but not unkind. "Most species fail when faced with protocol they do not understand. You persist." Alex straightened slightly, relieved. "Your Majesty, humans value understanding, respect, and cooperation. Technology can fail, but our intentions are true." Queen Lyra inclined her head again. "Perhaps. You will remain under observation. Your next challenge will determine whether you have the qualities of a true ambassador." Alex nodded, realizing that the first impression, though disastrous, had also shown something important: human ingenuity and adaptability. Even in the face of misunderstanding, he had remained calm, had improvised, and had demonstrated qualities that were rare among alien species. As he followed the queen deeper into the palace, Alex noticed the intricacies of Zitharian architecture, walls that shimmered with energy patterns, floors that adjusted their firmness to the weight of the visitor, and corridors that seemed alive with movement. Every detail spoke of intelligence, care, and a culture that valued harmony between technology and life. He also noticed that the queen occasionally glanced at him, her expression unreadable. There was curiosity there, he thought, perhaps even amusement. For now, he had survived the first challenge. But he knew more trials awaited, and each would test not just his skill as a diplomat, but his courage as a human in a world that did not yet understand him. As the palace doors closed behind him, Alex took a deep breath. He had entered Zithara Prime as a visitor, but he was beginning to realize that humans had the ability to inspire respect, even in a civilization far more advanced than his own. The first step had been terrifying, but it had also opened a door to trust, understanding, and perhaps even friendship. And somewhere deep in his mind, he knew the true test was only beginning. Captain Alex Turner followed Queen Lyra through the grand halls of the palace. The corridors seemed alive, glowing faintly as energy patterns flowed along the walls. Every step he took echoed softly, as if the palace itself was listening. Though he had calmed down since the first greeting, a knot of tension remained in his stomach. The translator device had failed him before, and he knew that any misstep now could undo all progress. Queen Lyra led him to a large chamber filled with Zitharian officials and advisors. They were watching him carefully, their expressions a mix of curiosity and caution. At the center of the room, an intricate ceremonial platform awaited. Symbols shimmered faintly on its surface, and Alex could feel a subtle hum of energy beneath his feet. This was where he would perform the ritual of respect, the next test of his intentions. "Human," Queen Lyra said, her violet eyes fixed on him. "This ritual is ancient. It shows honor, humility, and understanding. Fail, and your visit ends here." Alex swallowed hard. He had studied the basics of alien diplomacy, But Zitharian rituals were far more complex than anything he had imagined. Even minor mistakes could be seen as disrespectful. He bowed respectfully and said, "I will do my best, Your Majesty. I want to honor your customs and show that humanity respects your people." The translator device, carefully removed from his collar and set aside, hummed quietly, but Alex ignored it. He would rely on gestures, observation, and his own intuition. The first step of the ritual involved a sequence of hand gestures that symbolized respect, an acknowledgement of Zitharian history. Alex watched the holographic guide carefully, repeating the motions in the air. His hand shook slightly, but he focused on precision. He performed each gesture slowly, trying to match the rhythm and flow of the holographic patterns. At first, some of the advisors whispered nervously. One of them, a silver-skinned Zitharian named Kivrin, muttered under his breath, "He does not understand. This will end badly." Alex overheard nothing but felt the weight of their scrutiny. He took a deep breath and moved to the second step. This required a bow that respected both the queen and the memory of her ancestors. Alex bent forward carefully, holding his arms in the precise position he had observed in historical holograms of Zitharian ceremonies. He could feel the energy of the platform reacting, subtle vibrations under his feet as if testing his intent. Queen Lyra watched silently, her expression unreadable. For a moment, Alex wondered if she had expected him to fail, or if she was simply testing his patience and courage. Either way, he reminded himself to stay calm. Panic would ruin everything. The third step required him to speak a short phrase of respect in Zitharian language. Alex hesitated, knowing the translator could not be trusted. Instead, he attempted the pronunciation from memory, careful to match the tones he had studied. The words came out rough but understandable. Some of the advisors leaned forward, listening intently. Queen Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly, but she did not speak. Alex realized that even though his words were imperfect, his effort and intent mattered more than perfection. His human qualities, courage, adaptability, and respect were visible to her. Then came the final step, presenting a symbolic gesture of peace and goodwill. Alex extended both hands, holding an orb of energy he had carefully synthesized from his own device. The orb shimmered softly, representing human intentions to cooperate and honor Zitharian culture. He stepped forward slowly, keeping his gaze on the queen. There was a pause. The room seemed to hold its breath. Queen Lyra studied the gesture carefully, her violet eyes assessing every movement. Alex could feel the tension building. One wrong motion could be seen as an insult. One misstep could undo all his progress. Finally, Queen Lyra inclined her head slightly. "Your movements are not perfect, human, but your intent is clear," she said, her voice calm but carrying weight. Few outsiders showed the courage to continue under scrutiny. Most would falter. Alex exhaled, a small wave of relief passing through him. He bowed again, this time fully acknowledging the queen's authority. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I am honored to learn from your wisdom and culture." However, the moment of relief was short-lived. One of the advisors, Kivrin, whispered sharply, "Your Majesty, the human still speaks of peace, but he does not fully understand our ways." This could be dangerous. Queen Lyra's gaze shifted to him, and Alex felt the subtle tension in the room rise again. He realized that even though he had performed the ritual, some in the court were still skeptical of humanity. He needed to demonstrate more than respect. He needed to show ingenuity and adaptability, qualities that define humans, and might earn the queen's true trust. "Human," the queen said, turning her attention back to him. "You have completed the ritual, but there is more to understanding than following steps. You must also respond to challenges that test your judgment, creativity, and courage." Alex nodded. "I understand, Your Majesty. I will do my best." The queen gestured, and the room's walls shifted, revealing a holographic simulation of a crisis. An artificial energy storm threatened a nearby city, and a small group of Zitharians was trapped within its borders. The simulation was complex, showing volatile energy flows, unstable platforms, and dangerous terrain. "You will lead a rescue," the queen said. "You may not use advanced technology from your ship, Solve the problem using your knowledge, reasoning, and ingenuity. Your actions will show whether humans have value as allies. Alex studied the simulation carefully. The situation seemed nearly impossible. Energy flows shifted constantly, platforms collapsed under stress, and every move could end in failure. He realized that his ability to improvise, observe, and adapt would be tested to the limit. He began issuing careful instructions to a small team of Zitharians within the simulation. Though he could not speak perfectly with them, he used gestures, demonstrations, and logic to communicate. Step by step, he coordinated their movements, directing them around unstable areas, guiding them to safe zones, and helping them stabilize the platforms. The simulation became more dangerous with every passing moment. Energy surges threatened to knock the team off course, and some Zitharians faltered under pressure. Alex remained calm, encouraging them with clear gestures and precise actions. His human determination and quick thinking allowed the group to progress steadily, despite the odds. Queen Lyra observed closely. She had seen many species fail under pressure, but Alex remained composed, resourceful, and persistent. Each problem he solved, each step he adapted to, revealed a resilience she found rare among outsiders. She noted the creativity and courage inherent in humans, the very traits that had allowed them to survive countless challenges on Earth and beyond. Finally, after tense moments, Alex guided the Zitharian team safely through the simulated storm. The crisis was averted, and the simulation ended with a glowing message of success. Alex stepped back, breathing heavily but smiling faintly. The room was silent for a moment, and then Queen Lyra spoke. "You have completed the challenge, human. Not perfectly, but with skill, creativity, and courage. These are qualities my people respect, though they are rarely seen in outsiders." Alex bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I hope this shows that humans are willing to learn, adapt, and honor the traditions of other civilizations." The Queen inclined her head again. "It shows more than that. It shows that even when misunderstanding occurs, your species is capable of growth, ingenuity, and bravery. Perhaps there is more to humanity than I assumed," though some advisors remain cautious. The room's tension eased slightly. Alex realized that his efforts had begun to change perceptions, not just of him, but of humans in general. The Queen's trust was still tentative, but it was growing, and he had proven that human qualities, adaptability, courage, and quick thinking could earn respect even among the most advanced civilizations. As the session ended, Queen Lyra addressed him privately. "You have shown promise, Captain Turner. Your next challenge will be even greater, but I see potential in your species. Proceed with caution and continue to demonstrate the qualities that distinguish humans from others." Alex nodded, grateful for the opportunity. He knew that misunderstanding had nearly cost him dearly, but he had turned it into a chance to show the best of humanity. The experience left him more confident, more aware of his own abilities, and more determined to build bridges between worlds. Walking out of the chamber, Alex caught a glimpse of the palace gardens beyond the halls. The alien flora shimmered with energy, exotic plants swaying in patterns he had never seen before. It reminded him that exploration was not just about survival or diplomacy, it was about discovery, learning, and connection. And for the first time, Alex felt that humans had a place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as equals, capable of earning respect through courage, ingenuity, and the simple act of staying true to their principles. The real test was only beginning. But Captain Alex Turner had taken the first steps toward proving that humanity could not only survive among the stars, but inspire admiration in even the most advanced civilizations. The morning on Zithra Prime dawned with a soft violet light that shimmered across the palace towers. Captain Alex Turner stood on the balcony overlooking the city, taking in the sight of flying vehicles and elegant bridges connecting towering buildings. The events of the previous day had left him exhilarated, yet cautious. Queen Lyra's gaze and the court's scrutiny had reminded him that trust was fragile here, and his next challenge would demand even more from him. As he prepared for the day, an aide approached, bowing slightly. "Captain Turner, the Queen requests your presence in the council chamber. There is a matter requiring immediate attention." Alex nodded, Thank you. Lead the way. He followed through the polished corridors, noticing again the subtle hum of energy flowing through the walls. Every detail of the palace reflected precision, order, and beauty. But beneath it lay a quiet strength, as though the building itself were alive. When he entered the council chamber, Queen Lyra was already there, seated on her throne, her violet eyes fixed on him. Surrounding her were Zitharian officials and advisors, each watching him intently. The atmosphere was tense but respectful, and Alex sensed that today would test more than just his ability to follow protocols. It would challenge his judgment, creativity, and humanity. Captain Turner, Queen Lyra began, her voice calm but commanding. The city's energy core has shown instability. If not corrected, it could disrupt the entire power grid, causing severe consequences. I want to see how your species approaches problem solving. Alex stepped forward. Your Majesty, I will do my best to assist. I may need guidance about your technology, but I can analyze, adapt, and propose solutions based on principles and logic. A low hum spread through the room as holographic projections of the city's energy grid appeared above the platform. Lines of light pulsed through the air, showing areas of instability. Alex studied the patterns, noting where surges and fluctuations occurred. He realized the problem was complex. Energy channels were interconnected in ways humans rarely encountered, and any hasty correction could worsen the situation. One of the advisors, Kivrin, whispered, "The human may only complicate matters further." "This is dangerous." Queen Lyra's gaze shifted to him sharply. "Silence. Observe first, speak later." Alex nodded silently and focused. He could see that some energy nodes were overloading due to inefficient distribution. He drew on his knowledge of engineering, physics, and human problem-solving techniques, imagining ways to balance the energy flow. But Zitharian systems were different from anything he had encountered. He would need to adapt. He raised his hand, demonstrating a gesture that indicated analysis and strategy. Then he began moving nodes in the holographic projection, showing his suggested adjustments. The grid responded, and energy began to stabilize in some areas. The advisors whispered, impressed despite themselves, and Queen Lyra tilted her head, observing with curiosity. "Captain Turner," she said, "your solution is unconventional, but it appears effective. Explain your reasoning." Alex took a breath. "Your Majesty, the surges occur because energy is concentrated in certain nodes while others remain underused. By redistributing the flow based on capacity and adjusting feedback loops, the system stabilizes naturally. It is not the traditional method, but it uses observation and balance rather than brute force." The Queen's violet eyes widened slightly. She had not expected a human to approach a Zitharian problem with such insight. Most outsiders relied on technology or formal instructions. Alex relied on understanding, reasoning, and adaptability, the traits she valued highly. Kivrin muttered, again, this time in a frustrated tone, but the Queen silenced him with a glance. "Implement your plan, human. Show us whether it works in practice." Alex nodded and stepped forward, using his knowledge and the holographic interface. He began directing the adjustments in real time. Lines of energy shifted and balanced across the grid, stabilizing in ways that surprised even the seasoned Zitharian engineers. Some nodes pulsed steadily, others dimmed, and the hum of the chamber shifted from tension to quiet fascination. After several tense minutes, the energy core stabilized completely. The projection glowed softly, indicating success. Alex stepped back, wiping a bead of sweat from his brow. He had done it not perfectly by Zitharian standards, but effectively and with ingenuity. Queen Lyra rose from her throne, walking down the platform with grace. She stopped before Alex, her violet eyes meeting his. "You have solved a problem that has confounded my people for years," she said. "Your solution is not traditional, but it demonstrates creativity, courage, and insight. These are qualities we respect, though we rarely see them in outsiders." Alex bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I am honored that you find value in my approach. Humans often rely on ingenuity when faced with challenges. We may not always follow tradition, but we learn, adapt, and strive to understand. The queen smiled faintly, a rare gesture that conveyed genuine acknowledgement. Perhaps your species has more to offer than I assumed. You have earned the court's attention and my cautious respect. Even Kivrin, the skeptical advisor, could not hide a look of grudging admiration. Alex realized that he was not only solving problems, he was demonstrating human potential in a way that words alone could never convey. Queen Lyra gestured, and the room's walls shifted to reveal a more immediate challenge. A small sector of the city had experienced a minor structural collapse. Civilians were trapped, and traditional rescue protocols would take hours to stabilize the area. Alex's task was clear: devise a way to assist efficiently using observation, reasoning, and minimal resources. Alex quickly assessed the situation. The collapsed structures were unstable, and rushing in could worsen the collapse. He examined the holographic data and realized that carefully coordinated movements, combined with energy redistribution, could stabilize the debris long enough for safe evacuation. He communicated his plan to Zitherian rescue teams using gestures and clear visual demonstrations. As the operation progressed, Alex encountered unexpected complications: shifting debris, unstable energy fields, and panicked civilians. He adapted quickly, redirecting rescue teams, adjusting energy flows, and guiding civilians to safety. Each decision required careful thought and rapid adaptation. Yet Alex remained composed throughout. Queen Lyra observed closely. She had seen many species attempt rescue missions, but most relied on brute force or technology alone. Alex relied on his mind, intuition, and understanding of both humans and Zitherians. His adaptability impressed her deeply. After tense moments, the rescue succeeded. Civilians were safe, and structural damage was minimized. The chamber erupted in quiet applause, and even the most skeptical advisors acknowledged Alex's achievement. Queen Lyra approached him once more. "Captain Turner, you have demonstrated qualities that go beyond simple skill. You have shown creativity, courage, and quick thinking. These are the traits that define your species. I now see. Perhaps humans can be more than visitors, they can be allies, even teachers, in their own way." Alex felt a swell of pride, tempered by humility. "Your Majesty, I'm honored by your words. Humans strive to learn, adapt, and connect. I hope to show that we can contribute meaningfully to your world and others." The Queen nodded, her expression thoughtful. "You will remain under observation, and your actions will continue to be tested. But for now, know that your ingenuity has earned the beginnings of trust. It is rare, but significant." As the council session ended, Alex walked back through the palace halls. He felt a sense of accomplishment, but also an awareness that the challenges were far from over. Queen Lyra's world was complex, and earning her full trust would require more than problem-solving. It would require insight into her culture, understanding her people, and demonstrating human qualities consistently. Outside, the city of Zithra Prime stretched in all directions. Gleaming under the soft light of the morning, Alex paused, taking in the sight, and realized that humanity had the potential to inspire respect even in the most advanced civilizations. The first test had been survival, the second had been ingenuity. The next would challenge his diplomacy, courage, and understanding of an alien culture in ways he had not yet imagined. For the first time since he arrived, Alex felt confident that humans could not only survive among the stars, they could earn admiration, respect, and perhaps even friendship through courage, intelligence, and the simple willingness to try. The sun of Zithra Prime cast a gentle violet glow across the palace towers, illuminating the city below in sparkling light. Captain Alex Turner walked through the corridors with measured steps, his mind still processing the events of the previous days. He had faced misunderstanding, confusion, and intense scrutiny, but now he sensed that a new phase of his mission was beginning, one where trust could be earned and alliances forged. Queen Lyra awaited him in a private chamber. The room was elegant yet minimalist, with energy patterns subtly flowing along the walls. Holographic maps of the city and palace hovered in midair, displaying systems and structures Alex had only glimpsed before. She sat on a raised platform, observing him silently as he entered. "Captain Turner," she said, her voice calm but carrying authority, "you have proven ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. These are qualities that many species lack. But there's one final measure of understanding, one that goes beyond problem-solving and ritual." Alex bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, I am prepared to do whatever is required to demonstrate humanity's intentions." The Queen gestured to the holographic display. "This sector of the city faces political unrest. Minor disputes among guilds have escalated into potential conflict. I want you to negotiate and mediate, ensuring peace while respecting Zitherian laws and customs. Your success will show whether humans can act as trusted allies in complex social systems. Not just technical problems." Alex studied the projections carefully. The disputes were complicated, involving trade, resources, and local traditions. Any misstep could inflame tensions. Yet he understood that diplomacy, like technology, required observation, empathy, and clever adaptation. He took a deep breath and focused. "Your Majesty," he said, "I will approach this with care. I will listen, understand, and seek solutions that honor your people's traditions while preventing conflict." The Queen nodded. "Proceed." Alex entered the holographic simulation of the city. He was now interacting with Zitherian guild leaders, each represented by avatars with detailed gestures and expressions. He began by observing their concerns carefully, asking questions through gestures and careful wording, relying on nonverbal communication when necessary. Some guild leaders were skeptical, their postures rigid, eyes wary. Alex maintained calm and patience, mirroring respect and attentiveness. Slowly, he began offering compromises, demonstrating fairness, and showing an understanding of Zitherian culture. He suggested resource-sharing agreements, alternate trading routes, and collaborative solutions to long-standing disputes. It was delicate work. One misworded suggestion could escalate tensions. Yet Alex's human qualities, adaptability, empathy, and problem-solving allowed him to adjust quickly when leaders reacted unexpectedly. He noticed subtle cues, a tilt of the head, a narrowing of the eyes, a shift in stance, and used them to refine his approach. Hours passed. The simulation showed progress. Disputes were calming, trade agreements were forming, and guild leaders began nodding, acknowledging his ideas. Queen Lyra observed from her platform, silent but attentive. Her expression was still cautious, but there was a hint of approval now. Finally, one of the guild leaders extended a hand in a gesture of agreement, followed by others. The simulation ended successfully. Alex exhaled, a wave of relief and satisfaction washing over him. He had not only solved technical challenges, but had demonstrated humanity's ability to mediate, reason, and build trust across cultures. Queen Lyra rose from her platform, her violet eyes meeting his. "Captain Turner," she said, "you have done more than I expected. You have not only adapted to our customs, but you have shown insight, creativity, and respect. Your species is capable of understanding, even in situations that are unfamiliar or complex." Alex bowed deeply. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Humans strive to learn and cooperate. I hope to continue building understanding between our peoples." The Queen's lips curved into a small, almost imperceptible smile. "You have earned my respect. Few outsiders demonstrate the qualities necessary to bridge the gap between worlds. I believe your presence here can mark the beginning of a new chapter for humanity and Zitheria." Alex's heart raced. He had expected challenges, scrutiny, and perhaps rejection. But he had not imagined this acknowledgement. It was more than recognition. It was the possibility of partnership, of humanity earning a place in an advanced civilization through its virtues. "Your Majesty," he said humbly, "it is an honor. I will continue to demonstrate the best of humanity in all I do." Queen Lyra gestured toward the balcony overlooking the city. "Come, walk with me. Let us speak of the future." Alex followed her to the balcony. Below, the city stretched in elegant layers of towers, bridges, and streets filled with movement. Flying vehicles drifted silently above, and energy flows glimmered faintly along the structures. The city was alive, but it was also orderly, reflecting careful thought and cultural pride. I observed your actions closely, Captain Turner, Lyra said, her tone thoughtful. Your species demonstrates ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. You adapt under pressure, find solutions where others see obstacles, and show respect even when misunderstandings occur. These are rare qualities. Tell me, why do humans value these traits so highly? Alex considered carefully. Your Majesty, humans face challenges every day on Earth and beyond. We survive not because we are the strongest or the fastest, but because we adapt, learn, and cooperate. We value courage because it allows us to face the unknown. We value ingenuity because it allows us to solve problems when the tools at hand are limited. And we value respect because understanding others is essential to coexistence. Queen Lyra studied him quietly. Perhaps this is why your species intrigues me. You do not rely solely on technology or hierarchy. You rely on intelligence, morality, and intuition. These qualities are not unique, but they are exceptional in their combination. Alex felt a mix of pride and humility. Your Majesty, humans are not perfect, but we strive to do what is right. We believe that understanding and cooperation can build connections, even between the most different species. The Queen nodded. Your words align with your actions. That is why I offer a partnership, Captain Turner. Humans will have the opportunity to work alongside Zitherians, not as subordinates or outsiders, but as trusted allies. This is rare. Many species fail to earn even my attention. Alex bowed deeply, overwhelmed with gratitude. I accept, Your Majesty. On behalf of humanity, I pledge to honor this trust and work toward lasting friendship between our peoples. The Queen's expression softened. I will observe closely, but I believe your species may hold promise for the future. The first impressions of outsiders are often flawed, but your persistence, courage, and ingenuity have proven otherwise. You have demonstrated the very best of humanity. As they continued walking along the balcony, Alex noticed the subtle interactions of Zitherian citizens below. The city moved with grace and purpose, yet there was an openness in its design, a respect for life, culture, and technology. He realized that humans, too, could inspire respect and cooperation in worlds far different from their own. Captain Turner, Lyra said suddenly, breaking the silence. One of the most important lessons you have shown is that misunderstanding does not define a relationship. Miscommunication can occur, yet with effort, respect, and creativity, bridges can be built. Remember this, it will serve both your species and mine. Alex nodded. I will remember, Your Majesty. Misunderstandings can be opportunities if approached with patience, honesty, and courage. The Queen regarded him silently for a moment, then spoke with finality. Very well, the court and I accept your presence, not as a curiosity, but as a potential partner. You have shown that humanity has value beyond technology, beyond physical ability. You have shown that courage, adaptability, and intelligence can earn trust. Even in the most advanced societies, Alex felt a surge of accomplishment. The journey that began with a malfunctioning translator and a disastrous greeting had culminated in trust, recognition, and the possibility of partnership. Humans had demonstrated their worth not through conquest or dominance, but through qualities that transcended technology and species differences. As he prepared to leave the balcony, Queen Lyra added, Captain Turner, humanity's journey among the stars is just beginning. You have taken the first steps toward a future where understanding, respect, and cooperation guide relations between species. Continue on this path, and your species may inspire admiration in even the most advanced civilizations. Alex bowed one last time. Thank you, Your Majesty. Humanity will honor this trust and strive to uphold the principles that you value. As he returned to his quarters, Alex reflected on the events that had unfolded. The translator device that malfunctioned, the initial misunderstandings, the challenges of rituals, technical problems, and diplomatic negotiations, all of it had led to a single lesson: human qualities, courage, ingenuity, adaptability, and respect could overcome barriers, inspire trust, and build alliances across worlds. For the first time, Alex felt a deep certainty. Humans had a place among the stars not merely as visitors, but as respected allies, capable of demonstrating the very best of what it meant to be human.